See. Let's do a refresh on this page. Check it out on Twitch. Good. Let's check out my voice. Make sure sound is coming through perfectly fine. All right. Testing. Let me see. Yes, it is. Yes. Okay. Sound is fantastic. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Okay. People are slowly jumping in. All right. Chris Dawson, welcome. Michael Hodges, welcome. Good to see you guys. So, if anybody wants to share something live, anything you're working on in Blender, I am going to share with you guys the link to jump on the StreamYard and share live. So, let's see, I'm going to copy it now and I will put into our little handy dandy chat box here to share live. There is the link. I've just typed it in. You should see it. I will bring it up on a little display screen. Good morning, everybody. It's good to be back. Boy, it's been a busy month this month. We had the International San Diego Photography Exhibition, which I'm one of the judges going on all this month. That's now over. Ended July 4th. Now I can focus on Blender stuff. Cool. So good morning from Nashville. Hey, good morning. Hey, everybody know and howdy from Chris Dawson. Welcome, welcome. We got a lot of fun stuff to cover today. So I'm going to share a little bit of exciting news in which I'm working with a podcast, and this is fairly new as of this month, where I will be the guest Blender instructor on how to create your models and or props in Blender from scratch for 3D printing. And I will share with you. Actually, let me go and share my screen. I think that will be wise. Let's go share my entire screen. And we will grab my Blender screen. Here we are. Cool. It's live. Chris Dawson say, oh, good, it's live. That's right. We are live. Welcome. We got more people jumping in. Welcome, everybody, to the Blender 3D and Lightwave discussions. We do this every Saturday mornings, with the exception of the Saturday mornings that I'm working and or doing other presentations, live presentations. So I wanted to share with you guys. I'm one of the newest team members of a podcast called Trek Worlds, in which Michael Hodges, who's here with us, is also part of that team. Michael, did you want to come on and talk about it a little bit? You want to come on live? I gave you the StreamYard link. Trek World rocks. Yes, it does. It's I'm really quite impressed with it. Let me bring up. I'm going to bring up a page. I'm going to go to. It's a YouTube channel, and I've got. Let's see. Oh, that's kind of different. StreamYard is doing something a little different. All right, so let's go and search for Trek Worlds. And let's go ahead and type it in. Okay, so Trek Worlds, it should come up here. Let's see, is it coming up automatically? Let's hit the enter button. It should be coming up. I just did this the other day and it came up first thing. So here, let's go do it again. Am I misspelling it wrong? Oops, wait a minute. That was spell check jumped in here and did something with me here. Check worlds. I search it. There it is. Okay, here we go. So weekly Star Trek watch party. I think that's Trek Worlds as well. Here the official site right here. So they've got quite a following. It's pretty fun. And basically, there's a lot of interest in people, scratch builders out there who are now gaining some interest in 3D, designing their stuff in 3D and applying it to the scratch build. So I'm going to be kind of like on their channel, the Bob Ross of Blender, so to speak. So yeah, check this out. So I'm going to, let's see, this is the Trek Worlds channel. I want to just a direct link to it, but here what I'll do is I'll give you the link that I have here, and let's kind of put that in there. Cool. There you go. That's the link. So go check that out. It's a pretty cool channel. It's very well done. It's very well produced. I'm really very impressed. So we met at Wonderfest, and we chatted about doing something with this new 3D technology because I do the pre-con Blender classes there, the Fridays before the fest begins, and I also do the presentations on designing in 3D for 3D printing utilizing Blender 3D. So we chat a little bit. Let's see. Michael says, "Render those happy little trees." No, 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 no. My line is simple, stupid, boxy shapes. That's Bob Ross, the happy little trees. Steve's line is stupid, simple, boxy shapes. So, okay, what's this one? Chris says, "Happy little moons and shuttles." Oh, we can arrange for that as well. So, I'm going to be doing a weekly podcast for their channel. We're going to do a weekly presentation. We're going to start off. I've already recorded a bunch. We're starting off with how to set up Blender, how to set up your preferences, and so forth. The next one's going to be on the basics of building in any 3D program. It's not just Blender. The concepts that I'm teaching you are concepts that they can be applied to any 3D program that you're using. Um, then we're going to get into, I think our first our presentation is going to be basically on creating a phaser because all the fans are interested in phasers. And basically, you guys here on my channel are the first to actually see it. So you guys are kind of my little test market here. Um, so yeah, this is going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to this venture. I think it'll be profitable for the both of us. I think there's a lot of interest out there in this, and we can go into a lot of different directions with this workflow. So if you guys have any, Chris says sounds like a great partner. Oh yes, it is. It absolutely is. Where I work real well with Jim. Jim is the I guess the owner and the leader of the Trek Worlds concept. He's the one that kind of does all the narration. He's a really good narrator. I was really very impressed with how his videos are produced and how quickly he produces them. So yeah, he's organized and he knows what he's doing. Yeah, he does some excellent research. I agree, Chris. He really does. Um, okay, let's go have some fun. So, anybody who is interested in joining us live, let me go get that link real quick. I just put it up there. There it is to share live. I will copy that, paste that link again for anyone who has just joined on. You can come on live on the StreamYard and we can share your screen and we can take a look at what you're working on. I know Michael Hodges, who's here with us, is working on a shuttlecraft. And if you want to share that, you're welcome. Just jump on. All right. Well, shall we kind of get on with our presentation today? We're gonna start where we left off last week. We're finishing up that phaser. We're going to the finishing touches. This is what we have so far. Okay. Now we're going to start adding the little details. I want to start with the handle, adding this little detail here at the handle, and basically those are independent shapes um, merged in with the handle. Let's go ahead and let's make the shape real quick. So I'm gonna hit the 3 key on the numeric side to go to the side view. And if we take a look at this, I can probably produce this shape uh, probably from a I'm thinking about using a cylinder. I can probably produce this using a cylinder. I can also produce this using a probably a single plane. But let's try cylinder first. I'm going to go ahead and just move this on over. Let's go to the side view. Let's go to Shift A. Let's add in your cylinder. There she is. Let's rotate that cylinder on the Y axis. So R and Y in 90 degrees. So it's facing us right here. All right. So next, we're gonna make this as simple as possible. We're gonna go into edit mode. So tab key, edit mode. Let's go to my face editing. I want to make sure I'm in X-ray mode right there. I deselected everything, right? So if I rotate this a little bit, you can see everything has been deselected. And I'm going to select the faces. Not the Z key. It's not what I meant to do. I meant to hit the X key and delete those faces. So now all those, they're supposed to be deleted, supposed to be gone. I'm supposed to have deleted all of them. I did not. So X key and faces. That's why it's always a good idea to kind of get in close and rotate it after you apply the command to make sure everything's been done to your object that you thought was done. Because sometimes you think you're doing something that you're not really doing. So good idea. Kind of get in close and move around and inspect it. All right, let's kind of make this approximately the size as I'm going to need. All right, go to the side view here, go to X-ray mode. And basically what I'm trying to do is use these curves to simulate this curve in here. And then stretch the rest all the way down, right? Just use my imagination. Just looking at the basic primitives that I have, that I've been given. And what can we do with those primitives? I'm going to pull this out so I got a double layer here. I like working with a double layer. Okay, so hit the A key for select all. Let's hit the S key and scale it down. And let's bring it on up here like this. Get up here close. Scale it down. I'm going to take it to something. I'm going to kind of match that curve in there as best as I can. And I think I can. Something close to that. I think that's almost there. How about S again and pull it up slightly? That could work. All right. Let's see what I can do. I think I may have do this a little bit of a different way. Probably, let's do this. I'm going to pull it down this way. Let's take it to right about there. Maybe I had it right the first time. I'm overthinking it now. Okay. All right. Now I can use this curve. Let's take a look at where I am. Let's go to my point mode here. All right. So if I select these points here, And I'm also going to select these points here. It's going to be a little bit different than how I plan to do it, but you get the idea. Let's kind of basically get here. All right. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to get rid of these points. I'm going to dissolve them. Control X dissolves them. I dissolved too many. Dissolve too many. I want to keep one more over here. I'm going to undo it. I want to keep that one. So I'm going to keep this one here. Let's go select this one. Still, oh, control. There we go. Control right click. And let's select all these here. That's good. Okay. So control X dissolve. That's what I want. All right. I want to go grab this, bring it on down. Now I've got two of these here. So what we'll do is this. Let me undo it real quick. Let's go grab all these points here. Let's just get rid of them. So I have a flat plane. That's going to make life a lot easier. Go grab this point here, bring it on down. Let's grab this point here and just kind of push it into place. This will all make sense in just a little bit. Grab these and just bring it all the way down to here. So I'm basically drawing at this point. Grab this, bring it into place. Come all the way to the top. Okay, I'm going to have to line these up a little bit. So I want all these points here and this one here to be lined up. Now, in Blender, this is going to be easy. We have our loop tools, a plugin that comes free with Blender. Right-click, loop tools, go to flatten, and it should have flattened that out. All right, we want to flatten that out. Let's see, on the x-axis. All right, it's not working. All right, so we're going to do it this way. I'll tell you why. Let's rotate it, select all. Hit R for rotate. We're just going to align it with the world orientation. It's going to make things a lot easier. All right, then we'll come back. We'll grab all these and that. S key for scale, Y for the axis, and 0 to flatten it out. Enter to commit the changes. And we're just going to push it in place. There we go. That works. That works. Okay. All right, so we're going to end up with an N-gon here, but we kind of don't care. Primarily because we're going to integrate this in with the handle, and also, I mean, we could make this into something that's going to be 4-point polys everywhere, but we'll deal with that a little bit later. All right, so we need a face on this. Go to my edge editing view because I deleted it accidentally earlier. I'm going to get rid of that. And with all that selected, let's actually flatten this out on the Z-axis according to this here. So S key, Z, 0, just to make sure everything's nice and planar. And hit the F key for fill. Okay, and there's our face. All right, and then from here, let's go ahead and give it an extrusion. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Let's make sure. Get out of X-ray mode, see what we got. Yeah, that looks good. All right, let's go back into our side view. X-ray mode. A key for select all. I'll have to do a little bit of manipulation, but that's okay. So we hit the R key, something like this. It's kind of getting a little closer. It might have been easier to hit the A key. There we go. Go to orthographic view. And let's take a look at my lining here. So R, line it up a little more accurately like this. Go to my edge editing views. I've got an edge down here. Let's grab this and place it right where it should be. Let's grab this edge here to there. And that looks pretty good up here. If I select all this here, push it on down. And if I grab all of that, actually, I'll just what we'll do is I'll use my proportional editing. So I'll grab one of these little edges here, like this. Okay, as you can see there, go to the side view, and then turn on proportional editing. So the O key is a shortcut for that. Or I can hit this little symbol right there. It looks like a ring around a little dot there. That's proportional editing. So when I hit the G key, I can adjust the size of my mouse and adjust this to get it just exactly right there. Okay. That little edge there, it's just a teensy bit off, so I'll just kind of like move it into place. That's good enough. That's good enough. That'll work. We're done. We're done. All right, we'll do one last little thing. Let's go ahead and bring this straight up and down again. And I'm going to flip it, rotate it. Let's hit the A key first, and then we'll hit the R key. And just get it as vertical as possible. Let me go to my orthographic view. I'll use one of the lines to kind of line it up. You'll see why in just a minute. All right. And to help me out a little bit, I'm going to bring this down, set it against one of these little virtual lines there. That looks pretty good. R key, and just rotate it just slightly like there. I think that's it there. All right. Now, the reason I did this is I want to go to my modifier. I want to go to a mirror modifier for this. So let me get out of here, go to this mode here, right click, set the origin to geometry, because the origin is way up here in the handle. That's where we originally created. I don't want it up there. So right click, set origin to not the 3D cursor, but to geometry. Right, and this is interesting. I don't know why it's setting it up here. I don't see anything up here. Let's do it again. Right click to geometry. Interesting. That's not exactly where I want it. Here, this is another way we can do it too. If I want it directly center, go to my edit mode. Everything's selected here. And it's still selected there. Is there another? Interesting. I wonder if there's anything extra in here. I'm expecting this to be dead center. And I'm trying to figure out why it is not. I'll look at my options up here. Medium points correct. I don't see any other. If I hit the A key, I see nothing else up here. Interesting. I have to figure that out later then. So I'm going to hit the object mode, go to my mirror mode, generate mirror. Let's go on the, you know what? Let's do this. Let's hit the Control A and rotation and scale. Okay. Now let's hit the Y axis to mirror this on. And if we go inside edit mode, we can do this quickly this way and just move it like this. We'll just eye it. Now that we've now that I've got it aligned the way we need it, all I need to do now is come up here to object mode and go just move everything back into place. So go to the 3 key, pull it on up, or rotate it, kind of get it approximately right, and then we're gonna get in close again and just move it manually right there. So it's a little bit off from rotation, no big deal. R key, rotate it right about there. Maybe a teensy bit more. There. Okay. Let's take a look at it. Let's get out of X-ray mode. Push it on in like so. I'll deal with the thickness in just a minute. I'm gonna push it in. I want to rotate. This is the reason why we went to the modifier. I want to rotate it so it's showing that it's moving along the plane, the surface of the or it's flowing along the surface of the phaser. So come here, go to edit mode. I'm going to select all. Let's go to my rotation option up here. And let's just go on the Z-axis like that, yeah. Okay, I got 2 axes selected here. Turn off the X, there we go. I inadvertently hit both the X and the Y down here. Actually, I didn't, because X is what it is by default. I just didn't turn it off. Let's see. There's some comments here. Haven't worked with the Galileo in a few weeks. Well, it wouldn't hurt to show it anyway. From Michael. Let's see. Chris says the circle you made at first. Yeah, well, it was. I used a cylinder at first. Just rotate it so that it's facing on to the directly at us. Then I utilized that curvature along the sides of the cylinder to create the shape. He's saying it's using that as a center. It is. That's right. It is. Which I didn't expect it to, because whenever you select something in Blender, it goes to the dead center of whatever it is that's selected. So the fact that it's moving up here, local, let me see something. Orient. Yeah, this is perplexing me a little bit, because it should have gone directly to the center of my object. Let's say individual origins. See, that's a little odd. To me, I would think the center would be right down here in the middle somewhere. So that's what's throwing me off a little bit, but no big deal. I can go to normal view. I know what Blender is doing and why. I'm going to hit the A key one more time. Just so I can I think I want to rotate it just a teensy bit more. Like that. Okay, that works. Okay, that works. All right, so the inside of that piece, if I come over here, I want to grab the front face. If I can go to my X-ray mode. Let's see if I can, there we go, got that piece there. Because you may want to use this to put batteries inside, so I don't want this back face too deep into it. So I'm gonna, I grabbed the wrong thing. I want this face here. That's what I wanted. And if we go to the orientation instead of local, go to normal, it'll adjust the orientation to the face, the normals of this face here. So I can just take it and push it up like this. There we go. See, and that'll leave you plenty of space to put wiring and batteries and stuff inside. So idea is to 3D print this. Now I think probably effective way of dealing with this now is probably bevel those edges a little bit. We could put a bevel modifier on here, right? We could put a bevel modifier on here. So let's give that a try. Let's go over here and go to object mode and get out of here. Go to solid mode and let's give it a bevel. Let's see how well it does. Okay, yeah, it's going to do great. Okay, adjust this, holding the shift key down so I have minute adjustments like this. See that? Okay, everybody, I'll turn it this way so it's easier to see. Holding the shift key down, give it a few more segments. Like I like to keep it even numbers like this. All right, and this is going to be helpful because if I want to smooth this out even more, right, and I'm looking at my phaser, and this actually is going to be going in a little deeper like this, right about there. Yeah. And I think I'm going to move this over a little bit. I think this is a little bit too far. Probably, well, maybe that's okay. Okay, maybe that's okay. If I wanted to smooth it out even more for the purposes of 3D printing, let's see if we put a subdivision surfaces on it. Let's see how well it works. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'll go up to levels of 2. Yep, that's smooth. That'll 3D print just like this. Why? Because if we right click on it, it should always be under the shade flat option, right? And we are in shade flat for everything here, which means what you see is what you get. All right, handle's done. I can merge these together through a Boolean. I won't do it just yet, just in case I want to make modifications later on. And you don't really need to. You don't really need to. I'll share why later when we're done, when we actually export this out as an STL file. You won't really need to do it. Let me go over from our options from our window. Is that it? There we go. Yes. See, StreamYard has changed their interface a little bit. Okay, so you don't really, when you export this out as an STL file, you can tell Blender to automatically merge these together in the export process. So I don't really need to Boolean them. What I will do is I will select on I call this the handle detail right up here. It's called a handle now. Actually, no, that's the handle. If I click on the detail, it's called cylinder, right? So I'm going to call it the handle detail. Or details. There we go. And then I'm going to shift click on the handle, Control P, and parent it. All right. So now this is parented to the handle. To help keep me more organized, I want the handle to be in its own group. So with both of them selected, I'll select this one here, shift select the handle, and hit the M key. And we'll make a new collection. We're going to call this one handle. Okay. Now we've got the handles in here. that's parented to it, handle details. Now we can kind of keep organized. I'm going to hit Command Shift S. It's going to be Twitch number 3, presentation number 3. Okay, handle's done. We're done with the handle. Not much more we're gonna need to do with this. I suppose we need to also mirror this on the other side. So what I'm going to do is select the handle itself, Shift S, cursor to select it, dead center the handle, bring in Shift A, bring in an empty, which I just did. It's an arrows empty. And I'm going to rename that one. So I'm going to that empty should be inside of the handle. So I'll hit the M key and go to the handle. Good. So now the empty, I'm going to call this one empty.handle. Now you're going to see why we're doing this. I'm going to take this details object, right? If we come right over here, go to the details objects, and I'm going to mirror this based on the location of that empty that we just put in. Okay, on the x-axis. So all we're going to do is add in another mirror. So I'll cascade up the rest, add another mirror, generate mirror, and it's mirroring on the correct axis. But if we go to the mirror properties right down here, I want the mirror object to be that empty. All right. Well, look at checking any questions here. So Michael Hodges says, is the detail mirrored on this other side of the hand? Okay. So I didn't see your question before I started moving on, but yeah, you're following me. You got the right idea. So I want it to be mirrored based on what? Based on the handle empty. Boom. See? Now it is. Boom, 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 boom. We're done. Handle be done. All right, next. Let's go take a look at our reference. Let's start doing the details along the sides of the phaser. Right along here. See that? So those little, so these are heat sink grids, if I remember correctly. All right, along with these back here, we've got an indentation going into the back of the phaser. You see is actually etched into big square face, and then the heat sink blades are placed back there accordingly. So that's next. So let's do these here. Then we'll come back and we'll do the back. Okay, so let's do first thing first. Let's go and do the main phaser. Go to the body of the phaser, 3 key, go to the side view, X-ray, so I can kind of see that. You can see my 3 of them, right? 1, here, I'll get my little annotation. I've got 1 here, another one here, and then 1 right down here. Okay, going all the way across to the front. All right, so let's go have some fun. All right, so I think what I'll do is use a plane. We can use a good old plane. So there's the body of my phaser here, Shift S, cursor to select it, so I can bring my plane to right about here. We're going to make, let's see what I've got up here organized inside my collections. I got the phaser itself. I'm going to need to call this one phaser type 1 because I'm going to separate this from the type 2. So phaser, let's get organized now. Type 2, sorry. This is type 2 that I want that everything is placed in. Now I need to go to my type 1 and all the components of the type 1. So that there, this here, holding the shift key. Let's see, am I still in? Giving me a hard time here. So grab those there. Yeah, I think it's just those two for the type 1 phaser. Control and get rid of the body. M key for merge. Now just hovering over the selected objects. M key, new collection, and we're going to call it phaser. Keep it consistent. Type 1. There. All right, let's see what I've got in here. I got a bunch of things in here selected that should not be in here. I've got the type 1, I see type 1 clear, type 1 detail. All right, let's see what the type 1 clear is. That one there. Oh, that's right. That's correct. I've forgotten I had all that. That's basically this, and then the details on the side here. So that's correct. All right, so if I turn this off, you can see that all the proper components have been properly selected. Control S and save this so I don't lose anything in case it crashes. Stay organized. Type 1, we can move these around. I can take this folder and move it right above the type 2, right? And it'll stay there. Right? Type 1, type 2, the handle. I should call it the power pack because that's what that really is. That powers the phasers. All right, and the handle I think is done. Let's go to the sides. Let's start with the phaser here. Go back to where we were, X-ray mode. Let's bring in, we put the 3D cursor right where we want it. Shift A, mesh, plane. It's there, rotated on the Y-axis, RY, 90, bing, there it is. Let's go into Shift A, rotation and scale, tab, edit mode, as usual. Scale, bring it down like this. Move it around. Let's kind of just get it in place. Get in close. All right, and I'm going to hit the S for scale, Y for X for the axis, and bring it down something like that. Push it on up. I may have done something incorrect, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm inside the type. No, I want to be in the type 2 phaser. All right, so let me get out of here. Go to object mode. I'm going to select it right there. Look at where my 3D cursor is. That's where it used to be. So if I right click, set origin to geometry, that's correct. That's dead center of the geometry. Pull it on out here. See what we're doing, okay? So get out of X-ray mode and see exactly what we're doing. All right, I want this inside the type 2. So just hit the M key, find the type 2. It just drops it in there real fast and easy. Get out of the type 1. I'm going to be working inside the type 2. Okay, we'll grab this here. And let's go back to X-ray mode. So 3 key, X-ray mode, Alt-Z. Get back into edit mode here. Edge editing mode, grab that there. This part you're going to love. Bring this on over like this. Okay, I'm looking at the location of this thing. That looks about right. This looks like it wants to go up that way a little bit. That's okay. We can do that. And if I look at my phaser in my hand, while I'm looking at the drawings, all those lines are consistent. They're not They're tapered just slightly, aren't they? They are tapered just slightly. All right, fine. So what we do is we're gonna just taper them just slightly. So hit you can go to the scale tool if you want and just push it up like that. It's a slight taper. Go to X-ray mode and it's good. All right, I think this is gonna work. So now this is what we need to do. Um, we are going to do something kind of interesting. I'm going to subdivide this. So Control R for slice and roll my scroll wheel like this and get a bunch of slices in here like so. And then click once and click again and commit to changes. I'm getting close and I'm going to slice it again. Control R, but this time horizontally. And I'm going to add one more slice like this. I think can work. And then click and once and click again. Okay. Now this is what we're going to do. We're going to shrink wrap this to the body of this phaser. And then we're going to extrude it out of the body of the phaser. Isn't that fun? So let's go to work. Let's get out of here, go to object mode. Okay. Now, let's turn off the references temporarily because they're a little bit in the way. And let's kind of pull this panel over here to give us a little more real estate. Okay, select this detail. We need to rename this one, right? Let's go back to the phaser type 2. It was the plane. And I'm trying to get it to react to me clicking on it here. There it is. Okay. All right, so with this selected, I'm inside the phaser type 2, and I'm going to rename this one, all right? I'm going to call it type 2 detail. Well, we'll call it, let's see, type 2. Oops, what did I just do? I did something. There we go. Double click on it. Thank you. Type 2 heat sink. Well, matter of fact, we'll put inside heat sink. That works. Just keep it consistent. We'll make that T cap since I've got all the rest capitalized as well. Cool. All right, let's go to that one there. Let's give it a modifier. Go down to our modifiers, add the modifier, deform, because we want a deformer, shrink wrap. Okay, we're going to tell it what to shrink wrap to. We want the phaser, so select it, hit the phaser there. Okay, right along the phaser. Let's see how this is going to work. Yeah, that works okay. Once that's there, we are going to add, what do you think? Generate, solidify. It's getting close to the side. Solidify is moving in a direction we don't want it to go. Let's go back down to here. shrink wrap. Let me bring up that one. And this is, what is this here? Let me bring this on over so we can see what we're doing. Solidify right there. Okay, we got simple mode, we got complex mode. We'll play with that. That goes the other way. You want to bring it out there. See? Okay, and the last thing I want to do here is give it a subdivision surface because that's kind of a rounded edge, right? So subdivision, there it is. Yes. Give it a few extra roundedness. Yeah, there we go. Okay. The one thing that bugs me is that there's a little bit of a bow, just a slight bow in here, which I don't like. Let's see if I can modify that a little bit. Let's go into edit mode. So it looks like I'm gonna do the best I can to kind of guess where it's at. As a matter of fact, if I come over here, see if I brought this closer. Let's see what happens. Oops, don't want to do that. So let me hit A key for select all. See if I can bring it just a little bit closer so I can see. Oh, actually, that's helping straightening it out just by bringing. Let's see what it looks like now. Maybe I had a little bit too far away from the phaser. I think this may have corrected it. Ooh, okay, cool. We'll bring it close. That worked. Get out of here. Go to that mode. There it is. That's what I'm looking for. I didn't have to do anything at all. All right, that solved it. I like it. Wow, Chris goes, wow. I need an audience like you, Chris. I need more of you. All right, let's see. Wait till we start doing the broadcast for, well, actually, they've already got them. It should be out today. So at Trek Worlds, my first presentation should already be up and running today. All right, let's go. We need two more of those. Easy peasy, right? We got one. Why couldn't we just duplicate that and slide it on down? Let's see what happens. Let's go back to the side view, go back to X-ray mode, and let's turn back on my references so we can see what we're doing, and then Shift D and just hit the Z key and push it on down right about there. There. Getting close. That looks good. Push this on over to the left a little bit. That one fits about right. Let's go see the other one. Okay, heat sink 1, heat sink 2, heat sink. See, now splitting them up. Heat sink, there's the other one there. All right, I want to modify this one a little bit. So hit the S key for scale, Y key for the axis, and pull that out to make it a little longer. Like so. And then push it on over like that. Just to match what I have in the photograph. And this one's going to be stronger. So S key Y. There we go. Okay. That works. So if we get out of that mode, see? 1, 2, we need one more, right? Okay, go to 3 key on the keyboard, X-ray. Let's go get that one on the bottom. Heat sink number 2. That's number 1 here, but so we'll just hit the Shift D and then Z key. Move it straight down like this, like right about there. Okay, now what I want to do is this one's slightly thinner. So I suppose what I can do is I'll do this. I'll hit the S key for the scale, Z key for the axis to restrict it to, make it a little thinner. S key for the scale, and then the Y key for the axis to restrict it to, and bring it down. Let's see, it's about there, like that. Push it on over. Get in a little closer. Maybe move it up slightly like that. Move it over more like that. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, there it is. Done. That one's done. So looking at my hand phaser that I'm holding in my hand now, it looks pretty accurate. Okay, let's get the back end. We're making good progress. The back end of the phaser right back here. This one's going to be fun because let's select the phaser itself. Okay. Let's get out of there and go into edit mode and let's strategize. Pull this on back. Okay, we're going to strategize this here. Make sure I've got the right thing selected. There we go. All right, let's get in close. So let's also go to X-ray mode. All right, so let's think about this. So if we have those heat grids in the back, the heat grids are basically big, they're sunken into kind of a square shape, right? So back here, if you look at this, somebody should go to my annotation. If you look at this whole shape here is etched out, right? This whole shape in here is kind of etched out. And then you've got the four blades, heat sink blades that are placed within that little space in there. And of course, they hang out from the sides and they hang out from the back a little bit. All right, so looking at my phaser and touching my phaser, they do extend out beyond the sides, left to right, and also to the rear as it's showing here. So we're going to start with that first. Now we can actually create that out of the geometry that we have here. We do not have to actually, what's the word for it? We don't have to add a boolean or anything to it, right? We can just etch it right into it, or build it right into the shape that we've got. So this is why polyflow and keeping everything in quads is so important. So let's go over here to my move option. Let's go ahead and start moving some stuff around. This is in halves, right? So what I want to do is I'm going to go to my edge. I want to adjust these edges so that they're a little bit more aligned to the back of the phaser. So I'm going to go grab these edges here, right there. That's all I need. Go to my side view, double G to slide it down, get it down as best as I can, about right there. So the bottom one is okay. The top one needs some work. Go grab the top one, double G it, and then bring it on down like so. We're just trying to get everything lined up. Okay, does that make sense? Just keeping the flow quite nice. And again, I can select all these here And I'm going to double G it again just to bring it down. It's being a little finicky. So let me undo this. Let me just grab just the bottom one. Double G. It likes it when it's by itself. There we go. Look at the drawing. We're just trying to align this up to the plates here. So double G. There we go. That looks good. See? Just trying to get that looking as consistent as possible. Now here we go. 3 key on the keyboard. Let's go ahead and create some geometry in which we're going to etch this out. So let me go back to my annotation and let me go to object mode. There we go. Annotation, and just erase all that extra that was in there out. There we go. And let's go. All right. Let's go back to edit mode. Just getting rid of the visual distractions. All right, now Control R. I'm going to slice it. Why? I need to represent something for this side. So if you get in close here, this outer edge is the area that's being etched into the phaser. These other little sections are the actual blades, heatsink blades. With that there, see, I've got that whole loop. It's a quad loop. We're going to come down here to an option right here called shear. Select it. Once that's selected, I look at the area that's parallel to or perpendicular to the very thing I want to shear, and then I just slide it like this. And there you go. Done. Go to the move tool. We're not going to go to the move tool because we don't want to mess with the shape, right? We want to keep the shape. So it's double G, and you can slide it anywhere along that shape without affecting the shape. So right there is where I want to be. Done. Maybe I do a little more. Double G and slide it right about there. Okay. Need one for the top. Control R. Put it there. Done. Control R. Again. Here. Done. Okay. Did it mess with the shape of your face? Or no, it's probably going to add. It's probably going to add to it or benefit you because adding a little extra geometry that'll help keep the shape. If you're not sure, go to object mode, get out of there, and just take a look at it. And it looks great. Looks clean. All right, it's looking great. Let's go to tab key, edit mode. All right, now let's go back to our side view and x-ray mode. And let's go finish this up. So we've got everything exactly where we need it. So 3 key on the keyboard, and to go to face editing mode, and we're going to select all the appropriate faces. This is what we need. Right? This is what we need. Now, what we do is we're going to go etch into it. And we're going to etch into it by using a extrusion method. So Alt E, not the regular E, and then select from the options, extrude faces along normals. Select it. We're going to bring it in just a little bit. Just a little bit. We need to bring it in more. I'll tell you why we're not bringing it in more. You see these faces here. Actually, let me undo it. Control Z. Now let me hit Alt E again and extrude along normal. If I see those faces moving in too close to one another, they're going to start to overlap like this, and it's going to screw you up. We want to go in about this far, but you look, the faces, because Blender's trying to get those edges to match the flow of the shape. So they're overlapping. So only going to do it to right about there. We still need to come in a little bit more, but I want to maintain the shape. So now I need to go in here and edit it correctly. So we want to get rid of the back first. So deselect that and deselect this is part of the back, and that is part of the back, and that, of course. And what I want to do is get it to flatten out along the plane that it's sitting. Right click, loop tools, flatten. You see it? It jumped to a flatten mode. Now let's go get the sides here. It might help to turn off the subdivision surfaces mode. There. Okay. Select all of these here. There it is. That's all I want. And all we want to do is right click, loop tools, flatten. There. All right, so this is not flattening the way that I wanted to flatten. Very odd that it's not, by the way. Loop tools flatten is usually it's religiously accurate. And this entire face should have just flattened out. I'm gonna do it again just to see if maybe, see, I have something else selected that I should have selected. Go to X-ray, no, everything is exactly correct. So this is odd with the loop tools, by the way. It shouldn't be doing this. So right click, loop tools, flatten. Okay, and now it did it again. Huh. It's usually pretty good. Let me go to the flatten options. Influence 100%. Let's do it again. Loop tools, flatten. And it just keeps doing it. All right. Very odd. All right. So what I'm going to have to do is do a little manual work. So it's these faces here that I'm concerned about right there. I suppose what I can do, and since I'm in normal mode, it has the z-axis along its normals, which is exactly what I want. All I need to do is some kind of go at an angle here, get out of this mode here, and just push it up like that. There we go. See, it's starting to flatten out here. That's what I was trying to do. So maybe if I do this, it'll help a little better. So before I do anything else, I'm going to go grab that along the top, deselect everything on the bottom, right click, loop tools, flatten. There, it flattened it along the tops. Let's go to the bottom. Grab that one, holding the shift and control to grab this one. Right click, loop tools, flatten. There, that flattened out accurately. All right, let's see if this will do it now. Grab this here. Right click, loop tools, flatten. That's still having a little bit of a problem, but it's no big deal. I can easily manually correct that by, I think all I do is grab this point. Just grab that point there. I think what I'll do is I'm going to pull it out right there. I think that'll work. Pull it down a little bit like that. And eye it a little bit. We can see this is a little bit off in the back. So if I go to my edge editing mode, grab these edges here, in fact, and hit double G and slide them down. Grab this one, double G, slide it down to kind of keep the flow linear in this respect. Okay, that works. We've got it. Now, what can we do? Grab all these faces and grab all these faces here, and we need to be not in normal mode, but in global mode for this one, because everything's being is aligned to the global space. And just push that on in like this. There you go. So just understanding polyflow. Select these outside faces. And I'm going to right click loop tools, flatten. Looks like it's already flattened. And just push these in like so. And I'm just eyeing it. Okay, that did it. Let's see if there's any questions here. Questions, and I mean it. This is awesome. Good. Thank you, Chris, and everyone. Yeah, just kind of once you understand Blender how it works, then you just kind of use your head, think it through. I suppose what I could do, because these two edges are kind of close to one another, I could grab these edges here, grab that and this, holding shift and control, and then just double G it and just slide it on over like this, right? Just to give it some breathing room. Okay, that works. All right, so it's done. Now, here's the fun part. Let's get out of here, go to object mode, and let's take a look at this. It looks good. Let me come on. Let's pull this panel out a little bit. References, turn off the references. Now let's turn the subdivisions for the references. This is what I've got. All right. So most people, when they go to subdivision surfaces, they panic. Let's understand what subdivision surfaces are. You guys are probably used to CAD-based software, where the CAD-based software is creating the corners for you. That's exactly what subdivision surfaces is. It's a combination of box modeling and CAD-based cornering, all based in one. So what we need to do is tame these edges to be accurate. So if I come over here, go to tab mode, go to edit mode, right? All I need to do is find a way to control these edges. The best way to understand this is by turning off subdivision surfaces temporarily. So what we need to do is I need to tame these edges in here and the edges out here on the left-hand side. And I can tame the interior edges pretty quickly, because everything is a continuous connected loop, because everything is 4-point polys. Control R, put it here. You see this? I can slide it in here to tame this inner edge. So I'll place it here like so. And if I turn it on, see, I'm starting to tame that inner edge. Let's go tame the edge up here, right? At the top. Control R, click and hold, and drag it to tame that edge. See that? See what's going on? Now we need to do this back one here, right? You look at this curve, we need something perpendicular to this line to tame this curve. Control R, left click and hold, tame the curve until you can make it as round as you want or as hard as you want, like that. All right, there we go. Done. you've got the software, interpreting the curves that you want. So you're going to need these beautiful curves to 3D print, and you've got the edginess that you're looking for. All right. So I tell you what, it's time for a break. We come back, we put in the heat sinks in here, then we're going to get right into finishing up the phaser type 1. All right, so I'm going to go to object mode, take a look at it. See, that looks clean. And this will 3D print. Except we're going to set it up to 3D print the handle separately from the body. That'll make life a lot easier. Cool. 15-minute break time. So that time really went by fast. So we'll get our 15-minute timer. Let's go find my there we go. And we'll go down to the timer section here. Cool. All right. 15-minute timer. I'm going to mute my mic temporarily, and we'll be back. It is that time. Time to have more fun. All right. All right. So let's see. What would be an easy way to do this? I think I know. I think I know. Want to do the four grids in the back? Should be pretty easy. Let's go. I tell you what, why don't we do utilize a box? Okay, that might be easier. Three key, the numeric side of the keyboard goes to our side orthographic view. Shift right click allows me to place my cursor anywhere I want in Blender. I'm going to place it right about there for now. Shift A, and then go over to mesh, go to the cube. There's my cube. And go to X-ray mode. And let's go and hit the S key for scale to bring it on down. Let's go get our references, turn it on, bring it up. I'm going to move this on up to the first level, first shape. And S key for scale, Z key for the axis to restrict it on, like this. S key for scale, and then the Y key to restrict it on, like so. We'll take it to right about there. Let's go to the top view here. Okay. There's going to be a little bit of a tapering going on here, so we're going to come over here to center this. And to be quite honest, why not just mirror this as well? So I want to push this over toward the right. And we're going to hit Control A to apply my rotation and scale. Then Tab key, edit mode. Go ahead and grab that, pull it on out. Grab, did I get both sides? I did. Let me go to my face editing view, go to the top view once again, and we'll grab this face here, pull it on out. Okay. And we're going to grab this and probably push it on in like so. Okay, let's take a look at this. All right, let's go to the front, this interior face here. And I'm going to make sure that this is absolutely flattened out along the x-axis. It is already, but I'm being paranoid. So S key X0 is flattened. Now I want to put this directly on the 0 axis for the x-axis. Come to the end, hit the N key for numerics. Go to your items, go to X right up here, which is not directly on the 0 axis. It's a little bit off, and hit 0 to absolutely align it on that axis, making sure I'm in global point of view. Once that's done, guys, hit the X key, and then faces, and delete all those faces. Okay. Okay, so at this point, we're going to go back over here to object mode and go to my mirror modifier, add a generate mirror modifier. It should mirror automatically by default right there. But if we go inside here, once again, go to my edit object. So number 2 key to get my, select all of my edges. I want my orientation to be exactly where the orientation is selected now. So Shift S, cursor to selected, get out of here. Now the cursor is placed exactly where I want it to be. Go to object mode, right click, set origin to 3D cursor, and boom, there you go. It's perfectly aligned. If we get out of X-ray mode, you can see exactly what it looks like. And then from here, we're going to come over to my mirror modifier and make sure clipping is activated right over here. Right over here. Make sure clipping is activated. That's going to help. All right, cool. I'll keep my eye on the chat box. So, FYI, if you are not receiving our updates on all the workshops that we're doing for these Saturday mornings, join our mailing list. I put a link right here. It's sitting up here at the top. All right, join that mailing list. Sorry about that. I meant to turn that off earlier. Okay, let's get this edited correctly. Go to my top view. This is tapered, right? So now that I only have half, this becomes easier. Go over here to edit mode. Go to my edge editing mode. All I need to do is select that one edge to kind of get the tapering going. Go back to my top view again and just push this on over like so. There we go. Okay. And let's go back to my X-ray mode. Go to side view. Let's hit the N key to make that panel go away. Give myself some real estate. And if I get in close, I want to kind of match. Oops. I want to make sure I want to go to face editing view and select that entire face. See, I want to select it right about there. Let's take a look at this here. We'll do the same thing here. Let's bring it back a little bit more like that. I think we've got it. I think we've got it. Okay, here's the fun part. Okay. So I want 4 of these, and I want them to be tapered along to the shape of the phaser, or the phaser indentation that we have back here. Okay, so I want all these faces to kind of flow along with the angle that we have in the back and the implied angle that we have in both the interior and the back portion of the phaser here. Okay. Now let's add another modifier to this. Let's go back to object mode. Go back to our X-ray mode, go to the side view, and we're going to add a modifier called array. So I want to array this 4 down. We want to do as little work as possible. Time is money. So add, generate, go to array. Very top is in alphabetical order. And I'm just going to go array legacy. It's all I needed. I want to array it down the Z axis. Here's the array. It's by default around the X. I'm going to hit 0 for X and go 1 for the Y. And it's going upwards. I wanted to go negative, right? So I'm gonna go -1. So I'll put a negative in front of it like that. It's going downwards. I need 4 of them. So add 2 more, like so. And then all we're gonna do is just come down here to the negative X axis, hold my shift key and click and drag to the left to decide the spacing in between. And there we go. Probably something like that. That's my spacing that I want. That works. So now we take a look at it. We're making progress. All right. So now we need to taper this thing. So to taper this, what I need to do is I need to apply all of it. So go to my array. Come right over here to the right-hand side of the array, hit the little down tick, and it's going to give you options. Hit apply, and now all that is applied to one object. So I'm going to call this one rear heat sink. Double click it. Rear heat. Spell this right. Heat sink. If I go in the edit mode for this, see I got real geometry everywhere. And it's in the shape of a cube, which is perfect, right? It's exactly what we want. So we go to the 3 key on the side, X-ray mode here. grab just those faces, what do? You know what to do. Right there. Go to my shear. Shear that puppy. Oh, well, oh, kind of work that way. It's let me see what's going on. You know why it's doing it this way? I know why it's doing it this way. Because right up here, my options, see where it says global? Just to the right, it says individual origins. I don't want individual origins. I want a median point where it treats everything the same. And now I can do this like that. Isn't that awesome? Somebody's got to say that's awesome. I'm going to play with that a little more like that. That looks good right about there. Okay, move tool and move it into place. Do the same thing to the back here. Get in close. Just grab those faces. It's all the faces I have. That's all I need. Go to the side view. Come down here to the shear. Go to my the line that's perpendicular to the area that I want to affect, that front face, and just drag it just like this. Move tool, pull it on out. Okay, that looks great. Let's take a look at it. I think that'll work perfectly. So take a look at it from all angles, and that's great. That's perfect. From here, I suppose we can give this. Let's go ahead and give this a little bit of a bevel. Okay, I think a bevel modifier might work on this one. So generate bevel. Yep, there they are. I don't want that much of a bevel, so I'm going to adjust it something like that. There we go. Now we're going to add on several segments, 3 and 4. There we go. We got the rounded edges going on here. So if we get out of here, go to object mode. So tab key object mode. There, see? That will 3D print with the rounded edges. Isn't that cool? That looks great. Let's see, what more do we need to do? On the body. Let's go back and take a look at our phaser, our reference. I think we've got everything for the well, almost. We need the heat sink for the top, right? So let's see if I got a top view in here somewhere. Let's drop down my images. I think it might be that is one. Let's go. Well, we do have a top view in our reference. All right, go to X-ray mode. You can see right here, I got 3 heat sinks. Right, I got 3 heat sinks. So I'll go ahead and do that. So that's pretty simple. I suppose we can mirror this as well. So we'll go get a cube, another cube, and this will be within the Phaser Type 2 folder, I should say. Let's see. Chris Dawson says, awesome. Thanks, Chris. And then Chris Dawson now says that's something. Stupid, simple, boxy shapes. Stupid, simple. Look at what all we can do is stupid, simple, boxy shapes. And those sophisticated models like the Star Destroyers and the Razor Crest and X-wing fighters and Y-wing fighters, it's all made from these stupid, simple, boxy shapes. Okay, let's go get those heat sinks real quick. Should take us like a minute to do. So go to my top view. Let's get a box. Shift A, mesh, box. S key, scale it down like this. Right, get in close. Okay, that works. From here, Control A. Right, let's kind of place this exactly where I want it. I want it right up here in the top. So go to the side view. That's going to be right up here like so. This would be a little thicker. So tab key, edit mode. I'll go grab the top, push it up a little bit. And I want to push this down into the body of the phaser so that if it's going to 3D print um, as a continuous face. That's what your 3D software is going to see, or your 3D printing software is going to see. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and elongate this one. So go to my side view here, get in a little closer. This is going all the way to the end, right? So grab this face, that face only, pull it all the way to the end, just like this. Take this one, pull it all the way to the end. This one's going to taper, right? I'm going to inspect this. Now, what we can do is this. I'll just go grab that top edge right here and say that's going to be right up here, just like, the image shows. Then come over here to the right-hand side, grab this top right edge and pull it down. Maybe I'll take this piece here, make sure I'm in face editing mode and pull that out like so. Okay, so I'm going to get out of X-ray mode. Take a look at what I've got. Now looking at my phaser, it really doesn't come out that much. As you can see, I'm going to hit the A key. And we're going to push this down so it's like this. That's about how much it comes out. Just, and it's right below the nozzle here. Okay, last thing we're going to do is duplicate this. So we go back to X-ray mode, all right? Go back to my top view, 7 key on the keyboard. Shift D. Hitting the X key on the keyboard, take it to right about there, right next to it. Okay. That works. These are pretty much aligned. And all I want to do is go grab this face on the interior, because we're going to mirror this, right? And I want that face on the interior, hitting the N key on the keyboard. I want that to sit right on the 0 axis for X there. Once that's done, X key and delete those faces. All right, tab key, object mode, get out of X-ray mode to see what I've done. Yep. And give it a modifier of mirror. Generate mirror. Done. See? Last thing we're going to do, give it a bevel modifier, generate. Bevel. Getting close. There we go. Something like that. All right, now I'm going to go to segments and give it several segments. That works. Okay, I think we're done. I think we're pretty much done with Phaser Type 2. We're going to texture this also. All right, so I think We're not really done with. I forgot. We got to get the dilithium crystal chamber done. That's basically a cylinder. Almost forgot. There we go. The dilithium crystal chamber right here. So the dilithium crystal sits, a small little portion of it sits right inside here, which causes the phase energy to emit. We got another little interior nozzle inside the main nozzle as well. That's easy to do. We'll do that later. All right, so I'm going to get to shift and then right click. I'll put the 3D cursor where I want it. And I want to bring a cylinder there. So let's go and do a shift A. Let's go to my mesh. Let's go to cylinder. Rotate it on the X axis. Now I've got 32. I'm going to go 16. Rotate it on the Y axis, RY90. It's there. Let's make this smaller. Get in a little closer. S key for scale. And I'm going to line it up according to my reference. There we go. Okay. All right, that works. Go to the side view. And before I can push that on in like so. I'm going to make some adjustments. That's going to be fairly flush with the body. Let's open it up. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of magic here. Control A, rotation of scale. Tab key, edit mode. Grab that front face. I for inset. Right, and we're going to take a look at this. I'm looking at mine as a reference, but I'm going to take this and extrude it inward a little bit. E key for extrude, push it on in like so. And now I want that little linear section here to help the user grip the phaser. So I'm thinking, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of making some rectangular geometry in here. So let me select this out. Let me hit the X key and select all those faces. Go to the edge editing, select all the edges. And I believe it's under face grid fill. There. See? So now we have all quads. Okay, the advantage of this is now that with the grid fill, I can adjust the offset a little bit. So watch. See what I'm doing? I'm just kind of rotating around and finding out what's the best way. I'm thinking like trying to line up this one and this one. If I can. Let's go over here and That may not be possible. It may be, I've got 16 here. Maybe I want to go odd numbers in this example. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to worry about it. I'll tell you why. Because there's another way I can handle it. Let me push this all down like so. Okay. And it's a little bit bold inward a little bit, kind of like a soup bowl in here. So I'm gonna come over here to the number one key on the keyboard to grab that point right in here. Now I'm gonna go to proportional editing. Hit the O key on the keyboard. Proportional editing is turned on, as you can see here. A little white dot with the orbiting circle. I'm going to restrict it to the x-axis. So G for grab, and then X for the axis. And I'm going to bring this down, and I'm going to give it a little bit. Just a little bit. That looks good. All right. Then from here, all I'm going to do is go to these faces right on the interior. Let me kind of rotate it around a little bit. There we go. And now I'm going to hit the I for inset, like this. E for extrusion. Pull it out like this. Now, right click, flatten. There it is. Okay, so I'm in global now. Let me see if I go to local. I want to see what changes with the orientation and go to normal. Okay. So I need an orientation that's going to help with this. I want to restrict it to, as you can see, next I'll bring up my annotation. I want the orientation to accommodate this shape. Okay, yeah, it looks pretty good. Now I'm going to make this, so I need to set up a new orientation object. So to do so, I'm going to grab one of these faces. I'm going to go over here, grab that face, and I'm going to make sure that I'm in normal blend mode. Let's see what I get. Yep, that's what I want. That's the orientation that I want. I believe I might be able to select all. See if as I select all of these, see how that shape changes? I just want that one shape. Now watch this. If we come up here to the top, you're in the normal orientation right now. If I hit, let's see. Yeah, we'll do a new one. We hit the plus symbol, and that orientation of our face becomes my new orientation. In fact, let me drink some water here real quick because I'm talking and my mouth is getting really dry. That's better. Coffee dehydrates you, so you got to drink a lot of water. Okay, so I have a new orientation now. It's called face. You can name it whatever you want. You can double click it, call it whatever you want. So now if I select all of these, right? If I come over here and select all of these right in here, I don't want all those over there. I just want to grab those and those, right? That face. Just that. Look at the orientation. It maintains, which is what I wanted to do. I'm gonna go to my scale, make sure my proportional editing is turned off, and pull it on in like so. All right, and I'll probably come over here to the Y, pull it in slightly like this. And to be quite honest, I'm going to push this down. I'm going to come over here, push this down just a little bit, pull it out just a little more like this. Now, E key to extrude again like this. Yeah, that's accurate. And I can push this in a little bit more like so. And the reason we're doing this is because if I go now to give it let's give it a bevel modifier once again there, see? That looks good. And then give it steps of 4. Smooth it out like you can see. And all I'm going to do at this point is just give it a subdivision surface. So object mode, because I want this to be smooth, because we're going to 3D print it. Go to my object mode and go to add a generate and add a subdivision surface seat. And I want a levels of view of 2 levels subdivision, and then 3 levels of subdivision. There we go. All right, so at this point, I'm going to push it in. I got to get this oriented correctly. For the rotation. In fact, we're going to come back over to here. We're going to be in a global view. There it is. So my orientation is set up correctly. And pull this on out. Now, this needs to be inset inward like so, with the rest of this showing. So that means I'm going to have to create some type of a boolean in here. I think I'll set that up right now. All right, let's go into the body. I'm going to see if I can actually do this from using the geometry inside the phaser. If I go to my edit mode, I might be able to do it actually. Maybe. It might be easier just to put a boolean in here. But if I add extra geometry in here, let's see. Well, let me save this, okay? I'm saving that one. And let's see if I mess it up, I can always undo it. I've got it saved. And let's see if I Control R, add a couple of slices here. That should do it right there. Okay, let's see what I can do. This is a little bit too close to the edge, but the photograph, I'm going to take a look at my phaser here. Actually, no, the photograph is saying the face of this should be up. Actually, my actual phaser that I own says this is up higher. It literally shows this touching this up here. So I'm going to go with that. It shows it literally touching this bottom heat sink line. So if I go to the photograph, it doesn't show that, right? If I go to the side view, it shows it being down lower, but the actual phaser is actually touching it. So I'm gonna go with that. Let me turn off my references just temporarily. So let's take a look at this. Okay, this will work. Let's do this. So let's go back into the phaser body. We're going to go to edit. And the reason this is beneficial to me is because now I can take several of these edges and maybe make a circle from it. So let's see what I can do with this. So go to face editing mode. Let's see if I can take this shape like so. And let's hit the right click on my mouse, go to loop tools and go to circle. It's working. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay, but we can't do it yet. I'll tell you why we can't do it yet. Because we need to apply this shape, because right now it's going to be mirrored, right? So mirroring has been working perfectly for us up until now. When now they have all the details in, we need some asymmetry now. So this is what we're going to do. Watch me. Let me go into object mode. I'm going to take the phaser. Let me go back to edit mode real quick. Hit A key. I'm gonna offset it like this. Well, before I offset it, I'm gonna go into the mirror command, and I'm going to unclick the clipping. This is where unclipping the clipping is going to work for you. If I move it over, I've got this. Now, why am I doing this? Because we want to 3D print this. So one side's going to have that dilithium crystal chamber, and the other side is not. So I've got to print these two sides separately. So I want them separated. So I'm just opening them up right down the middle so I can easily separate this. So now I can go in here and work my magic. So now I can go back to the side view, and let's go back and turn on my references, X-ray mode, and go grab these faces here, all these. Right here. Okay, that's what I want. Now, I think what I would like to do is actually save that. I'm gonna come right down here to the data properties and make a vertex group of that. So I'm going to call this one dilithium. Let's see how you spell that. So dilithium chamber. Okay, that works. Okay, I'm hit Control S. We're gonna save everything. So I've got that there. So now, before we do anything, we got to apply our mirroring command, right? Then go back to the modifier. After mirror, what do I have? I got the smoothing, so that should be okay. So go to the mirror command and hit apply. Done. So when I go into edit mode, watch. tab key, edit mode. I got them. So let me get out of there. Go to object mode. So I got them both there, but I've got them separated a little bit, right down the middle, right? I got them separated a little bit, right down the middle. So now I want to do one little thing. I got this little area here. I'm going to move them back in just a moment. But what I need to do is I need to put one onto its own layer. So I'm going to select this side, go to face editing mode. Let the mouse hover over this side of the phaser. Hit the L key, and that selects that whole side. All I'm going to do now is hit the P key for parts, and then say, make it a brand new layer, right? Hit the selection, and there it is. It's its own separate layer now. So we're going to call this one, let's see, type 2. Let's see, how do we go to the face on. Type 2 left side. So we got to go back to edit mode. This is type 2 right side here selected. So I'm going to grab that first. So type 2 right here, it goes to it. And we'll go right side. My caps lock is on. And then this other one over here is type 2 left side. Cool. Type 2 left side, dot left side. That looks good. All right, this looks good. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to put them right back, align them right back up again, so that everything's aligned back up to each and all the details that I worked so hard to put in. So select this, select the body. Come over here and get the body. Or I'll come right over here, heat sink right side. There we go. Right side here. Go to my front facing view, because we moved it off slightly, right? And we're just gonna get it closer right about there. Okay. Do the other side. Get in closer. Move that on over a little bit like so. There we go. That way it's relined up with all of the detail. So everything is still symmetrical. So Control S, saving it. We're back in business. We got our separate phase. Now we can go back and do the detail on this one. So go to this body here. Let's go to edit mode. Remember that, oh no, I forgot to do something. Darn it, I screwed up. I did not select. Yeah, see, I forgot to tell it to assign it. I was in a rush. This is what happens when you're in a rush. So I'm going to go grab these faces again, face editing mode. And I believe it's these faces that I want. All right, let's see how well we do. Right click, tool, circle. Oh yeah. All right, we got to get the circle aligned properly. See, it's not quite aligned. Oh, well, it's not too bad, but we can take and go to the angle and do this, right? Adjust it. Do the best you can. It's not going to be perfect. And it doesn't matter in the middle so much anyway. I mean, we can go to the edges here if we want to and say, select that edge and double G it, right? And just align it up like this. And select that edge to go to the center and double G. And line it up. And the same thing for that edge, double G. If you want to get anal about it to try to get it looking as clean as possible, that's how you would handle it. See? All right. Now, if I go, let's go ahead and select these faces here, and then hit Control Plus to pull it out a little bit. And I'm gonna go to my orthographic view, X-ray view, and I'm gonna have to go grab. I think this is much more accurate. Yeah, this is much more accurate to my phaser. All right. So if I go back to object mode, let's go back to my dilithium crystal chamber. Let's see if I got it handy here. Let's go back and there we go. That's it there. It's under cylinder. Sure is. Let's say that one is dilithium. Take the J out of there. Dilithium chamber. All right, and let's move it around. Go to my orthographic view. And we'll just have to move that around. Actually, I got to find, I can't see it against the background. What I have to do is come up here, if that's a problem, and let's go to my, right over here, my overlay view, come down and go to wireframe, so I can see the wireframe, and I can kind of sort of see it in there, kind of like, well, I'm going to have to wait until I go to this. Let me wait until I bevel all this out. So I'm jumping the gun here. So let me get out of here, go to object mode, go to the body, edit mode here. Okay, two things you want to do. You want a controlling edge from this circle, because we're making a circle out of boxes. I for inset, there's my controlling edge right there. What do we do next? You guys already know what to do. E key, extruded in. There it is. Okay. All right, so now we'll go to this shape here. Get out of here, go to object mode, go to that shape. Now we need to modify this. So edit mode, go grab that whole face back here. Pull it on in. You can see it in relationship to everything else. I'm going to object mode and just something like that, because you may want to actually build something inside here. So I'm going to just enlarge this just a teensy bit so it'll fit snugly in there. So you don't necessarily have to put glue in here if you don't want to. So S key for scale, just a little bit, like right about there. It looks good. Push it up a little bit. Push it to the right a little bit, just eyeing it. Okay. Yeah, that fits in there. How does that look, guys? Chris says, there's a question here that said, Steve, can you, oh, sorry. I forgot again. I get involved in these little tutorials and I forget I have the little tags up there. Sorry about that, everybody. All right, so we get out of here, object mode. Come on, object mode. You can see all my the geometry flow. It's not bad. It's not bad. Not perfect, but not too bad. Didn't have to boolean anything out. Go grab that. Looking at, and this is actually going to be pushed inwards like so. Oh, that got moved back there somehow. That's kind of weird. How did that happen? Go to top view. Make sure that's right. There you go. That's why I was looking kind of odd. All right, I'm going to turn off the wireframe overlay. I'm looking at that closely, and these edges may be a little bit too rounded here. So I think what I'll do is I'll do one last little thing to this, to the body. There we go. Get this body, get this side here. I want the body on the right. There we go. And go to edit mode real quick. All right, a couple of things I can do. One is I'm going to grab that interior. This is a little bit large. And then I'm going to hit Control plus on the keyboard to extend it out a little bit more. I'm going to have to eye this because this is a little bit further out, a little bit larger than I want it to be. So I'm going to scale it on the Z axis and the Y axis, but not the X axis. I want the X axis to be untouched. So I'm going to hit the S for scale. Kind of pull this a little bit further away so we have a little more real estate here. And this little thing bugs the heck out of me. So I'm going to go over to my edit menu preferences. I thought I had turned it off earlier. Go to my interface, and I've got, let me see. Remember where it is. I always forget where it is on this one. I think the viewport here. And let's see, where did I put, where is that? Interactive, there it is. Interactive navigation. Off. And that turns that off. This thing here is also in here. Object info, that's off. And I think what this is, I think it's listed under the interface. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Navigational controls right there. Okay. Drives me nuts. I don't need them. I'm using my shortcuts, so I turn them off. All right, here we go. So I want to scale on the Z and the Y, but not on the X. So S key for scale on all axes, and then Shift Y to lock it down. So only those two axes are going to be affected. Wait a minute, what did I just do? Let me hit Escape key. I wanted it not on the X. I did it backwards. So scale, not on the X. Scale, Shift X. There. That's what I want. That is not working the way that I want to. I said Shift X, right? There we go. Now that's working. I'm not hitting the buttons all the way down. That can happen. My students do it all the time. It's kind of like, Steve, I did what you tell me to do, but it's not doing it because you're not hitting the buttons all the way down, just like what I just did. Cool, that's better. So I want to go and edit this little button now. Quick little shortcut here. Alt or Option Q will automatically jump to this. And A key for select all and just move it over a little bit like that. That should do it. All right. And Alt and Q again, or just get out of here. Go to object mode. There we go. That's much better. That's much better. You know, move that over. Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. How's that looking, everybody? Okay. All right. It's looking for comments. And welcome, Michael Hodges, I mentioned earlier, and Kevin Fanning and H. Kinchin. Welcome, Essence. It's great to see you again. David Glenn and Chris Dawson, as usual. It's a lot more people here, but it's not showing up in my little chat box. So, but welcome everybody to the Blender 3D Roundtable Discussions. All right, let's go do next. Looks great. Oh, Steve, who's that? Was David Glenn. Hey, David. Here, if you want to jump on, let's see. I'll give you the. I will give you to jump on. There's my invite to jump on live. I'll give you the link here because you probably don't see the previous links that I put up here. So to share live. Cool. All right, go. You can jump on as soon as I'll let you come on as soon as I see you. All right, so let's go do the. I think we're ready to do the phaser type 1. Let me just go look at my reference. Make sure I've got everything I need for the type 2. Yep, I got the details on the top, got the grids in, got the sides in, got, yeah, all that's looking good. Okay, handle's done. The nozzle we did last time, 2 weeks ago. So we're ready to go. All right, here we go. So let's do the phaser type 1. Easy peasy. We did most of it already. It's mostly done. Let's go add, let's see, let's go take a look at our reference here. We need to add something else. Let's go to the top view. I'm going to have to add more images in here. So on this side, images, open images. Let's go to my reference images. So phaser images here. There we go. I've got that on the top. Let me see if I've got something from a top view. Really interesting. It was hard finding top views. The only top view I've got is the reference image. So maybe what I'll do is I will just utilize that for now because it's not too far off. So I'm going to click OK. I already have it up here. So if I bring it the top view right there, all right. So we have this dial, and we have this magnification dial here. Okay, so let's do the magnification dial first. And I'm looking at my actual phaser, and it's pretty much the same circumference as the dial as the hand dial, the finger dial here. So we'll work with this one here. All right, this is going to go on the type 1 now. So I'm going to just select, close up the type 2 folder, and just click on the type 1 folder. I'll just click somewhere inside here so that whatever I do will be listed in there. X-ray mode. All right, here we go. Let's go have some fun. Let's Shift S. Let's go ahead and bring the cursor here. Shift A. Let's go over to bring in a cylinder. Rotate it on the X, R on the Y, RY90. And I want to make sure that this is the default. Oh, crap. I got to do it over again. because it's not the amount of sides that I want on this one. Shift A, mesh, cylinder. For the cylinder, give me the default 32. That works. That's what I want. Okay. Rotate on the Y. So RY90. Cool. Got it. All right. Let's bring it up about where I think the center is. S for scale, bring it on down like this. Front face view. There we go. Bring it on over to here. SX. Scale, but freeze on the X. To there. Okay, go to that front view. Let me take a look at the side view real quick. Side view shows that it's a little bit bigger. So what I'm going to have to do is just pick one. I'll go with this one. As for scale, we'll go with that one. We'll just let it stick to this. Okay. Go to my front face view and just adjust the width to that. Okay. Looks good. All right. So at this point, let's go in edit mode. So Control A, rotation and scale, Shift, edit. Let's see what we want to do. So let's come down here. And what I'm thinking is from the side view, I'm going to go to my point editing. If I grab all these points here, I suppose I can dissolve those. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I got rid of them. So I'm going to undo that one. I'm just going to hit the delete key. So X and then delete those vertices right there. Just go to that edge editing mode. Select this edge. Select that edge. Right click, Loop Tools, Bridge. Now select the edge loop and select the edge loop on the, is that all still there? Don't think it is. Yeah. Edge loop, F key for fill. Okay. All right. That's all done. So all I'm going to do now is from here is just give it a little bit of a bevel modifier. Why not? It's been working for us so far. All right, give a little bit bevel modifier. So I'm gonna come over now. Let's see, what could I? Yeah, I'll leave it the way it is. So I'm gonna go over here. Let's bring this on. Go to the bevel amount. Let me come right over here. Pull this up so we all can see it together. And adjust the amount. All right, something like that. I think works good. And there we go. Okay, it needs to be smooth. We're going to 3D print it. So let's give it a subdivision surfaces there. 2 and 3. There we go. That'll 3D print. And that will be printed in clear, of course, because that'll be printed as a separate piece. I'm going to select the type 1 phaser and turn on its mirror modifier. There we go. All right, let's do one more. Let's go do the thumb wheel. And go directly to the side, do the same thing. So Shift A, go ahead and give it a mesh, and let's give it our cylinder. Rotate it on the Y axis, so RY90. X-ray mode, I'll just move it up manually, get as close as I can. S for scale, pull it down like so. We got those ridges, and we have an interior. Kind of a beveled interior. Well, on my phaser, there is no interior. Well, actually, there isn't an interior. This is smaller. I see. Silly me. Let me bring this down like that's about right. It just comes down a little bit lower. And I'm going to leave this as a full wheel because maybe the buyer of this 3D print is going to want that wheel to be free to turn. So I'll keep it that way. So I'm going to go to my front view, get out of X-ray mode. We'll bring this over to here. There we go. Go back in X-ray mode. Scale, and scale it like this. Okay. Okay, so from here, I'm going to give it a little bit of an interior. I think it looks more handsome. So before I do anything, Control A, rotation and scale, apply it, edit, grab these two faces, face editing mode, go to both sides. I inset something like this, Alt E along normals, and push it in like that. There we go. That looks more handsome. And looking at my phaser that I have, it's just a little bit thinner. So I'm going to hit the A key for select all, and S for scale, and then X for the axis to restrict it to just a little bit. It's almost like this thin. All right, here we go. Let's get the ridges on here. How there's actually more ridges than I have here. So what I think I will do is do this technique. Maybe select all of these, hit the I key for inset, hit the I key again. I'm not really happy with this. I'm not happy with this. I want to do it right. I'm going to get anal. You guys are going to hate me for it, but I'm going to get anal anyway. Let me just leave that there for now and bring in another one. And Lisa, let's select this. It's already selected. Shift S cursor to select it, so I know exactly where to bring in the other one. Shift A, and I'm going to bring in another cylinder because I don't like what I did. Rotate on the Y axis, right? So RY90. There we go. Go to my X-ray, go to my side view real quick. I'll make this quick. Oh, wait, no, I screwed up already. Did it again. Shift A, mesh. It's just easier just to start over. Cylinder, and I want 128 sides. Okay, that's what I want. Not 1,000, but 128 sides. That's what I want. Okay, now rotate on the Y. So R Y90 S key, scale it to match the other. Okay, get in close, scale it, take it down to there. Perfect. Okay, rotate this around. So now what I'll do is let's push this on in manually like this. Okay, that's what we've got. And that's the other cylinder there. I'm gonna delete it on the keyboard. Delete key is gone. That's what I want. All right. So now we will get out of here and go into my edit mode right about here. There we go. That's what I want. See those shapes? That's the shapes I want. I'm happy. Grab that face. I inset it. Alt E along normals. Undo that. I want to go deeper along normals actually. Let me rotate it more so I can see what I'm doing. Alt E along normals. Okay, that works. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is this. Go to X-ray mode, grab that face, and then shift, grab this face, hold down shift and control, hit plus, 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 until it goes all the way around like that. I got every other one selected. Get out of X-ray mode. Now all I need to do is go to Alt D along normals, like that. All right, and then from here, go back to object mode, skip the bevel modifier. Make our lives easy on ourselves. There, see? Look at that. Looky there. All right, so let's see. Got to bail. Trek World calls. Okay, you're welcome. See you soon, Michael. Um, let's see. We got. Is there a trick? Oh yeah, trigger's coming. Trigger's coming. That was Michael, but Michael's gone. So Michael's gonna have to watch the broadcast. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna modify the amount here. Notice that when I with Alt Option and Control held down together, I can left click and drag this up and down to resize these panels, just in case you didn't know that. And I'm going to bring this down a little bit. See? Yeah, that's better. Let's add a few more segments to it like that. And 4. There we go. Nice. That's good. That looks good. We're making progress. So all we're going to have to do next week is texture it. So it's going to look exactly like the real thing. Texture it and light it. We're going to do texturing, lighting, and rendering next week. Well, actually, next week, guys, forgot to tell you. I'm going to be preparing for a group art show that I have to be at the gallery next week in the morning time. It goes through the afternoon. So if you're not on the mailing list, sign up for that right now. I think I put it in here already. Let me go see if I can find it. There is a mailing list that I posted in here. In fact, let me go grab it real quick. There it is. I've got it. All right. Join the mailing list so you can be notified of the next meeting. We won't meet next Saturday, but I might change it to Friday so that we don't have to skip a week. But So I'm going to join mailing lists. Join our mailing list. Typing it in. There. Okay. So if you're not already on our mailing list, do that right now, and that'll put you onto the Blender 3D user groups mailing list. It's all free. And what I might do is just change our Saturday our Saturday Blender meeting to a Friday so that we don't miss next week. But we'll see. I'm still working on all that. If we have to skip next week, at least again you'll be notified. I always notify the group. So on the type 1, on the previous videos, I've created all of this here. The grid section, watch those videos. If you are not aware of where our videos are, I will show you right now. If we go to YouTube, we have an official YouTube page for our user group. We'll go to YouTube here, and right over here, yep, this is it, Blender 3D, view our channel. And this is where we put all of our, like today's meeting will go there. Last week's meeting is there. See, it's a phaser there. All right, I'm going to give you guys the direct link, and it's the youtube.com/@Blender3D users. So I'm going to give you guys that channel right now. Let's see, YouTube. I'll put down here YouTube channel. There you go. Cool. So that's there. Oops, I misspelled mailing. Sorry about that. But that's the correct link. All right, so join the mailing list and you'll be notified. So now let's go back to work. The phaser type 1 is pretty much done. And let me just go check the reference. Now this reference has an LED light up here, right in the middle. On my actual phaser that I purchased, it doesn't. So I could put a hole in here in case the user wants to put an LED light moving up. I think we're pretty much done with phaser type 1 as well. So all we need to do is go to the type 1. It's selected already. Go to the modifiers. It's got a mirror modifier on it, right? So if I turn it off and on, you can see you have that entire interior. I'll need to do something to this middle object here, because that needs to be open. So I need to boolean this out so that, let me see if I select this here. Maybe I can do it this way. How about if let's go see if I can grab this. Sometimes it's a little bit. Let me go to the type 1 drop list here. Phaser type 1. That would be, let's see, it wouldn't be the cylinder. I'm just going to click on each of these until I get the one. There it is right there. Go to edit mode. X-rays. All right, so maybe what we could do, I'm going to it's not what I meant to do. Pull this on down. Maybe what I can do is etch something in here really fast. So I've got these faces here, and this is one complete edge. So what I'm thinking of doing is this. This may be helpful. It's going to be an Ngon, but for 3D printing, it's not going to matter. there's gonna be there's gonna be it'll work. This one will work even as an end god. So I'm gonna give it about say one, two, four sections here. So right click, subdivide it, subdivide it into four sections. So if I go to the point editing mode, there we go. We got these points here. So I'm going to go to the top view. I think I can just scope this out of here. Go select this edge, double G, and bring it to here. Okay. Select this one, double G. I want double G. Right about there. Double G, slide it to here. Select that one, double G, slide it to there. So that all I need to do now is go to the edge editing mode, select that, and just push it on in like this. And that'll open up that interior. All right, that'll open that interior up for the user to put in details. So let's see what's happening here. Solidify is in there, good. Let me go back to the top view. All right, so I got subdivision surfaces. I don't have subdivision surfaces turned on. So if I go over here to the object mode, let's go right over here. Let me see what I have on the subdivision. That's 4. That's really interesting. So let me actually readjust this. Solidify is in the bottom. I'm going to change the layer positioning. Okay, let's see what Chris is saying. Let's see. Chris says that's a good site to explore if you aren't already aware of it. Oh yeah, it sure is. Talking about the Trek Worlds. Yeah, the Trek Worlds is great. It really is. They really did a fantastic job. And I'm proud to be involved with those guys. Let's see. The phaser props were all over the place with differences. That's true. Hey Scott. Scott Canada is a good source to do. Yeah, Scott. I thought is Scott here? I thought he was here. That's why I said, "Hey, Scott." Because I thought Scott said he was coming. So yeah, I mean the references are all over the place. We even went to when I sat down with Jim from Trek Worlds. We even went into the original blueprints, the Star Trek blueprints. And see, do I have that handy here? I do, but this on Bridge, I think. The blueprints weren't very accurate. If I let me see, go to Bridge real quick. Let's see if I got them. I'll show it to you. I'll show you guys real quick. All right, so if I come over here to my favorites, I should have my Trek Worlds. There we go. Star Trek technical manual right here. It was called this is the original technical manual that we found. Someone put it online as a PDF file. But if you look at some of these references, let me see it. It should be phaser, should be right. And the phaser didn't look accurate. It's in here because I looked at it. I'm just going past it. There's a tricorder. There it is. All right. So that's the phaser they have for the technical manual, and it's not accurate. So I didn't want to use this for the Trek Worlds broadcast. I wanted to use something a lot more accurate. And I've got the actual one that I bought from, I can't remember the company that owns it now. Wand owns it now, but I can't remember the company that owned it before. But I bought it from the original company that made it, and it's very accurate to what was used on set. It's another view of it here, here. So yeah, I'm trying to make it as accurate as possible, so I didn't use those. So here we go. We're almost done. So selecting the type 2, the type 1 is what I was in. You have to go up here, and sometimes Blender gets picky about you. There we go. Solidify is down. Let me go to bring the subdivision below the solidify. There. Didn't like that, did it? All right, so let me see subdivision before mirroring. Didn't like that either. All right, I'll bring that, I'll take it back down right above. So what we'll do is maybe let's add a bevel modifier. But I'm going to have to bring the bevel modifier before the subdivisions. I may have to turn off subdivision. Okay, it's turned off. I have to do a little bit more work on this one. Let me see how much of a bevel we can get in here. You know what? It may not be working because the solidify, that shape that we're seeing, this thickness doesn't exist yet. It's a solidify modifier. Let me bring that down below the solidify bevel. There we go. It's layer positioning. Got it. There we go. Something like this. And grab 4. Okay. Okay, that's not too bad. Now go to the type 1 phaser. Turn the mirror on. Now give it a subdivision modifier. There. See? Smooths it out to exactly what we want to see. Levels of 2 and levels of 3. Totally smooth. That'll 3D print accurately. Look at that. Okay, that's it. Last thing is a nozzle. That's easy peasy. I'll do it right now. So we'll go to the side view and control right click, put the 3D cursor right down here. Let's go to Shift A, mesh. Let's go to cylinder. I don't need 128. I guess 64 will be fine. That's too much too. Let's go to 32. 64. That'll smooth it out better. Okay. All right. So X, rotate on the X 90 degrees. There we go. S for scale, bring it on down. R for rotate, right there. I'm ignoring the hit S for scale again, make it a little bigger like there. I'm ignoring the photograph because it's not accurate to the real phaser nozzle. The real phaser nozzle is a complete cylinder, and that is it. There's a little bit of a bevel around the edges, but that's it. Pull it right down here to the dead center of the phaser. Push it down just a little bit right about in there. Yeah, that's it right there. That is right there is the kind of get in close. That's the nozzle. And then the only other thing I put on here is Control A, apply rotation and scale, and just give it a bevel modifier like that. Yeah, that's about all we need. I guess the last thing I would do is probably come back in here, grab that face, make sure I'm going to be not in global, but normal. So the arrows point, orientation points in the perpendicular to the normals, and just push this in a little bit more into the, give me a little room to play with. That's it. There we go. It's done, I think. Looking at the reference. Let's go back to the photographic reference. I think we got everything. Yeah, we got everything. I think I'll make this one a little wider. Looking at the photograph, that's my phaser that I have in my hands right now. That is a little bit thicker, so I'll just kind of like make it a little thicker like that. Yeah. Control A and rotation and scale. Control S. Save it as phaser twitch number 3. All right, there we go. Let's turn off the references. There it is. That looks clean. What do you guys think? Let's see, comments. Let's see. I think they are individually handmade. Is that what's going on? Yeah, they don't, they're worth a lot of money now. I discovered I've got both the phaser and the communicator that actually connects to your cell phone, and I can talk to you through my communicator. They're worth money now because they're no longer being made. So Juan, who currently owns it, decided not to reissue it. And the fans are going crazy. They're trying to get their hands on them. Drinking water here. Oh, Cygnus. Okay, lots of stuff. Okay, so Cygnus X1.net. I'll take a look at that in just a little bit. Let me see. Let me go to the chat box and bring this down. Let me copy that. Let me go to it now. Open list. All right, so I've got, what is this? That's not this, the Cygnus. Why is it going to a Google search here? Is that right? There we go. Yeah, I've seen this site. This is cool. But not sure. Oh, this is Hard Rock. It says, oh, this is an advertisement. This is a spammer. I thought it was something I haven't seen before. Forget that one. What is up with these spammers? Okay, we got one Star Trek Prop Authority. That one doesn't look like a spam. Let's go check that out. That one can't be reached. For some reason, it's saying it can't be reached. Let's see if I can just copy the link. All right. And let's see if I can paste it. See what I get. Nope. That one's not working either. Let's see. Chris Dawson. Chris Dawson, you sent me a link I don't think works. Here's another one. Let me try this one. Copy. Let's check this one out. Okay, there we go. Star Trek prop and costume. Yes, I have seen this. This is cool. All right, so I'm going to bookmark this. And I think I made one, a special bookmark just for Trek Yards. I think I'll put it in there. Trek Worlds, not Trek Yards, but Trek Worlds. Well, sure I did. Huh, really? Oh, you know what? It's probably up here. I'll tell you what, I'll make a new one. Because I'll find props in there that I can use it for as something to create for the Trek Worlds. Cool. Done. I'll check that out. So we've got uniforms, desk communicator. Oh, this is cool. I'm definitely going to check this out. Thank you for sending this one. This is great. This is great. Oh, yeah. Lots of documentation here. There's the phaser. There it is. Oh, these are great. So this is the actual phaser they used on set. I recognize it because I've seen it in person before. They basically look like crap. It looks like that. And they also had the Velcro on the side. That's how I know. Right there. That's the Velcro. And they all look melted. So he must have gotten access to one that they actually used on set. There's the type 1 and the 1 and 2 together. There's the power pack. All right. Yep. So I guess this is the kind of like the scope. This is a screen in back where they can kind of put this. They can view the subject that they can actually phase. I'm assuming is what this is here. So this guy really put a lot of work into this. Look at this. All right, cool. Thanks for sharing that. I'll definitely go back and review that. So do that one, add the stage. So there we have it. So next time we come back, it's going to be texturing, lighting, and rendering of the phaser. We're done with modeling. Now we can focus on making it look great. Looks great already. But wait till we get the colors in, the textured surfaces in, the glossiness, the reflective areas, all of that. All right. So everybody, guys, have a fantastic weekend. And we'll be back sooner than you think. Remember, simple, boxy, stupid, simple, boxy shapes. Stupid, simple, boxy shapes. All right. See you guys later.